Welcome to instructional videos. Today we are going to set up the quad pod monitor stand. Before you begin, there's a few things you will need. You'll need your TV or monitor, and you will also need a Phillips screwdriver and a wrench or needle nose pliers. And all these things are not included. So first thing I'm going to do is remove all the parts from this convenient carry case. So when putting the quad pod monitor stand together, we're going to work from the base up. So first thing I'm going to do is open my base. So I'm just going to pull down on the legs as they extend out. And as the hub moves up, it'll clamp right into the hole located on the bottom of the pole. So you want to make sure that you extend it into this hole. Now I have my base fully extended and in place. So next, on this top hub, I'm just going to release the red button and I'm just going to push it down a little ways. We'll end up connecting the graphic to this hub. Next, I'm ready to insert the second pole. So to insert the second pole, you want to insert the side that has the push button closest to the end. So I'm just going to insert the pole, and you're going to have to push up on the red lever to have the pole slide past it, and then push in on the push button. So now before we connect the third pole, there's a couple things we need to add to the third pole. So I'm just going to set my display off to the side. On the third pole, what we're going to do is connect the monitor hub before we attach it. So to connect the monitor hub, the first thing we're going to do is remove the portion of the hardware that connects to the monitor. So we'll set that off to the side, and then we're going to connect the monitor hardware to our pole. So the top of our pole is going to have this clip or this hub, and that's where the graphic attaches. So that's how we'll know how to connect our monitor hardware. So I'm just going to attach the hardware with this open portion facing up towards the top of my hardware. So I'm just going to lay it and align it to the screws on the two hubs. And then using the screws that are included in the clear bag, we're just going to secure into place. The screws that have more of a rounded edge on the bottom and the flat screws on the top. So I'm just going to insert the rounded screws on the bottom. So I'm just going to loosely attach the screw on the bottom. I'm not going to tighten it all the way down. I want to then align the screw hole on the top of the monitor mount before I secure all the screws into place. I want to make sure all my holes align before I tighten them into place. And now I'm going to start the other two screws before I tighten all of them into place. And I'm just working in a diagonal fashion. Now that I have all the screws loosely attached, I'm just going to use the included hex wrench and then my own pliers or wrench to secure into place. So I'm just going to work diagonal once again to secure the screws into place. What's great is that once you have this mount attached, you do not need to ever attach it again. You can leave it on the display when you take it down. Now that I have all my screws tightened into place, I'm ready to attach the graphic to my pole. So to attach the graphic, we're just going to slide one of these straight pieces and its hub onto this top hub. So all I'm going to do is press the hub onto this top connector. Now that I have the pole attached, I'm going to insert the graphic onto the edges of this pole. So I'm just going to set it off to the side. And then using the pull pocket on the graphic, I'm just going to insert it on each side. Now that I have my graphic attached, I'm ready to connect the third pole onto the top of my display. So I'm just going to lift up the pole and slide it onto my pole. And then I'm going to press the red lever in, and this will allow it to slide on. And then I'm going to push the push button in and connect it into place. Now that I have my third pole attached, I'm ready to attach the last piece. So all we're going to do is slide the hub of this piece onto the hub or the graphic hub on the front of the display. So I'm just going to slide it on Now that I have this bar on, I'm just going to slide it up and align it to the pull pockets on my graphic, and then I'm going to slide my pull pockets in. Now that I have the graphic attached, there's 2 steps we need to do before we can make the graphic taut. So on the back of your display, on the second pull, we're going to push in on the snap button, and we're just going to slide it down until you hear it snap into place. You want to slide the hub of the graphic down until the graphic is taut. However, you do not want to push down too hard, or the bar that the graphic is connected to will come off the hub. Now that I have my graphic taut, we're ready to connect the monitor attachment to our monitor. So I'm just going to get all the pieces. I'm going to get my monitor attachment. You'll need your Phillips screwdriver, and you will also need the bag of screws. So to connect the monitor, I'm gently just going to lay it at an angle. I don't want to lay the glass of my monitor down unless it's on a clean, flat surface. And then we're going to use the big bag of screws to identify which screws are going to be needed to connect our monitor. So I've identified I need these screws, and then I just put a washer on the end. So what we're going to do is you're going to flip over the hub so that the back side of the hub is facing out, and we're just going to align down the holes on the back of your monitor, and then we're just going to work diagonal. So I'm just going to insert the first screw, and then using my hands just tighten it into place, and then I'm going to work diagonal and connect my second screw, and then I'm just going to repeat these steps for all my screws. Now that I have all the screws hand tightened into place, I'm just going to use my Phillips screwdriver to secure them into place. And you want to make sure you do not over tighten the screws. Now we're ready to connect the monitor to the hub on the display. So all we're going to do is lift up the monitor and slide the hub onto the hardware on the display. And then using the little latch on the bottom of the hub, you're just going to secure it up and into place. And what's great is you can leave this mounting hardware on your TV once you take it down. And it's just that easy to set up your quad pod monitor stand.